Greetings, everyone. This little chocolate thing a day is kind of fun. Anyway, so we're going to have some fun. More fun. We are going to do some more drawing from imagination. It's going to be awkward and awesome all at the same time. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be neat to quickly draw like a pterodactyl, which is a weird, well, kind of like pneumonia. It's a word that starts with a P, and it's a silent P, which is the worst thing to happen when you're a kid or an adult. Yeah, anyway, let's draw a picture, shall we? Okay, but we're going to do a different kind of pterodactyl. In fact, I think we're going to try something a little more festive. So there's a version of this animal that's referred to as a Thanatos Drakon Amaru, which sounds really cool. So we're going to try to draw a version of that, and we're going to make up stuff too because, well, I don't really know what they look like. But we're going to draw like a Christmassy version of it. And it'll be a little awkward, I'm sure. And it doesn't have to look exactly like that. But the Thanatos Drakon part. So they like to name these creatures generally after the person who discovers it. Not always, but sometimes they do. But this one gets its name as being sort of like the Dragon of Death or something like that, which sounds super scary. And yeah, as I said, we're not going to make it look exactly the same. It's a creature that doesn't really, there could have been one of them, there could have been 80 of them, I have no idea. It's from like the later Cretaceous period, somewhere around like 90 million years ago. So I couldn't tell you if it has feathers, and maybe it doesn't matter if it does. But we are going to do a Christmassy version of it. You imagine one of these things flying over your, I don't know, your cave or whatever you would have lived in at that point in time if you were even around. What a wild thing this would have been to see flying overhead and hoping that it wouldn't, I don't know, take your lunch away from you. Or your puppies or whatever other creatures you might have around. It does make me wonder, though, if something like this was around when people were around, because sometimes you see paintings where they would depict something that we would kind of call dinosaurs. But what's interesting about that is that name has only been around for like 150 years or so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should look that up before I ramble on about that kind of stuff. But I feel like it hasn't been around that long. I wasn't sure if we could give it a red nose or a spotlight, but we'll see when we get there. Because imagine if Rudolph took the night off and they had to get in this creature, a Thanatos Drakon Amaru. How cool would that be, guiding Santa's sleigh? Now let's maybe change this a little bit. Oh, we're shaking that a little too much. Okay, well, it'll correct itself in a moment anyway. At least I hope so. Now, I'm not really sure if we would put sort of like claw-like features on what could be sort of like the arm of the creature, but also the wing. Now, I don't have like a great glider form, but you know, whether it should be here or there. But for fun, we're not really going to worry about that too much. You know, this kind of makes me think of something else. Could you imagine if this was like a delicious creature? Like, because right now I think the shape that I'm kind of going for might be a little bit more of a flying turkey of some kind. I don't know. We'll see. And as I said, we're going for kind of a festive thing. So we're going to give awesome little boots. But you got to accommodate the talons. Because, you know, you got to be able to land on things and kind of latch on a little bit. Tree branches and whatnot. So yes, you got to be good to the creature. I'll draw another leg here. So I hope you're drawing along with me. It's fun to do these kind of silly things every so often. Now let's put some laces on here and we'll tie them up. One on this one too. Okay, let's make our way back over here. And for fun, we're going to have a gift. And we're going to have a little bit of an angle for this box shape. Make some sort of wrapping paper, maybe as well. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Let's put a ribbon on this with a fancy bow. It's nice because it could be really fun. And a little card on it too. Something that might say, to Oogie. There you go. That's kind of fun. So that's what we have going on there. A slight armpit. Then we're going to expand this just a little bit. And we'll do the same down here. Well, I don't mind that so much. Now what we'll do is just do some quick kind of finish work on it. So yes, I couldn't tell you when our perspectives on dinosaurs would have changed. So you can see lots and lots of like historical depictions of winged creatures that somebody would have been out hunting. And sometimes I just kind of wonder if some of the things that they put are kind of metaphorical. Oh, you know what would have been funny is if we put shorts. Don't worry, we'll fix this up in a moment. That's the fun thing about doing stuff with ink. Oh, the things you get to live with. Oh. Little tie here, one there. Let the material expand out a little bit. Well, I don't mind that so much. Suppose the other trick would have been like a scarf. And really, what is stopping us? So if you're drawing along, are you putting a scarf on your creature as well? Your pterodactyl, your Thanatos Drakon Amaru. I'm probably butchering the name of that creature, but I don't think I'm going to offend the creature either. If it doesn't like the way I pronounce its name, it can let me know. I don't know if it spoke, screeched. That's something we don't often like to think about. The other creatures that may or may not have ways of communicating. Dolphins can kind of learn certain things, and gorillas, and so it's hard to say whether or not they would learn to communicate with us. Imagine if sharks talked. That would be wild. What kind of conversations would you have with a shark? What kind of conversations would you want to have with a shark? Like, hi, don't eat me. And sometimes you hear that sharks only really happen upon people by mistake. Like, they wouldn't really think that we'd be good food. They just kind of test things first with their mouths. So that's what we got in 17 minutes. Now for fun, I'm going to add a little bit of color to it. Okay, I have a red hat, of course. Why wouldn't we? Now, what should we do about the wrapping paper? We'll go, I don't know, maybe purple and light blue. That'll look kind of cool. You need some kind of contrast with that. How about green and red for the scarf? So we'll get the red back out again for our stripes. So red, white, green, red, white, green. Something like that anyway. Yeah, I like that. We'll just throw in a little bit of green every so often. Patterns don't have to be exact. Although I think that's how people knit, though. But for us, that is not so bad. What do we say about the colors? So let's say blue and purple. Let's go purple ribbon. Did you pick a color for your ribbon? If you're drawing along, whatever you like. Silver is nice. Sometimes with my drawings I like to use watercolors and or just like regular acrylic paints. They fill in the gaps without a whole lot of streaking, the same way as markers. Markers seem to streak for me. And I know you can get sort of like an alcohol-based marker. I've used them. I don't own any. They seem like fun. Now, the last thing. So we have candy cane scarf, red hat, a purple and blue gift. Should be wild. Let's go with orange. Orange shorts. See that? They don't even really seem like they were an afterthought. I mean, they still do, but you know what I mean. Adding color adds some intention to it. And the boots. Let us do something with the boots. Maybe not so extreme. We'll just go with like a gray. Nothing too outlandish. And just for convenience sake, to save a little bit of time, I suppose, as well, we will leave our sky dragon alone. Often when I do color with marker, I usually go a little darker around the outside, and then also concentrate a little bit more of the color in what could be creases, or you create shadows with it. But that's just me. I'm sure lots of other people do that as well. Well, that's not bad. So in roughly 25 minutes, this is what we got. This thing that can just be like, hey, I got you a cool thing here. Well, folks, I think that's it then for now. Thank you so much for joining me. It's kind of fun to do these things like this. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you again sometime in the near future, and we'll have something else that'll be fun to draw. All right, have a great day.